Hello and welcome back to Let's Play UnderRail Expedition with me, Bring It On. So off camera, I found out I could do this. I knew that grenades and TNT could draw enemies from other locations on maps. I never tried the yell, because I know in some places if you try to yell at somebody it'll just make them hostile immediately. That might only be the neutral enemies, the yellow enemies. Okay, let's head into the Institute. So maybe 2 or 3 episodes of reading and dialogue. Not entirely sure. But based on what was it Propaster Amelia was saying? There's a lot of people here. And a library that they were going to read through as well, so buckle up, everybody. I like how their vases just have crap in them. Right, can I break into these without anyone noticing? So I do like looting. Hey, buddy. Why don't you go back to the other side? Look how dirty that door is. It's like rusted on the bottom half. All of them are. Okay. The faceless are nothing compared to the preservation powers. Something. Shortest. Blustering tentacles, what are you doing here? I was minding my own business. What were you doing? Be a little careful when I exit because that guy is patrolling. So let's quick save. Can he see me all the way down there? I'm gonna assume that he can. That's why I saved. Investigator. Sure, guide you out of my room. That's fair. We'll send someone to the surface before Raj finishes his turn. Alright. So they've got some quip to them. They're not all bad. Alright, so I probably can't get into that door. Or this one. This is where the guys in the game room are standing. Alright, so what's over here? More vases. Oh, alright, that's quick save. Alright, nothing of note. Well, that's disappointing. Get out of the way, jerk. Can he see me right here? I feel like the curtains should stop him from being able to see me. Yep. He sure can. So much for, patient privacy. What about in here? I can't go all the way to the back. Can he see me all the way over here? Yep, alright. Just testing my boundaries. Alright, Jarret Franz. An unexpectedly tiny and shy voice comes out of this lofty man. While he's loud enough for you to hear him, you can't shake off the feeling that the sound of a humble fly gliding into the room would overpower his voice. Fortunately, nothing similar happens during his introduction. Tchort is evolution. My name is Jarret Franz, and I am an investigator of medicine and the Institute's proto-physician. You must be Brondon. Usually our fellow Tchortists refer to me as I am, to which I have no objection. Now, how may I help you? Sure guide you, Jarret Franz. Sure guide you too, brother. Oh, that's how I say bye. Okay. Need assistance, brother? Where can I purchase some medication? I can help you with that, brother. I'll show you what I have. And it better be adrenaline shots. You know what? That's it. I just want adrenaline shots. Because I have plenty of healing. Alright, what do you think of the Faceless? Foul, corrupted beings. Ugh, I sympathize with core city residents who have to endure being close to such disgusting creatures. Man, sure help them. In the end, the augmented monstrosities will die out eventually, while all completely natural beings, like us, will live on. For it is the superior design. Proven. How and why did you join Institute of Tchort? It is a long story. But go on, I have the time. I became a Tchortist about 7 years ago. Another typo. Either in year 92 or 93, one of the two. And it was all due to a single fortunate event of me meeting with a former colleague of mine who had just returned from South UnderRail, where he was on some, well, private business of his. Oh yes, I forgot to mention that I am from the North UnderRail, and the meeting also took place there, in Dis to be precise. Thomas Harding, the man I spoke with, informed me how dreadful the living conditions were in the South, of persistent and ever-growing bandit menace, poverty, as well as the rise of violent sports in Core City. Naturally, the bottom line is that the South is a place of decadence and should be avoided at all costs. Except, there is one thing he mentioned in a positive light, the Institute of Tchort. He had the, in his words, pleasure to speak to several Tchortists during his stay here in Upper UnderRail, and in fact, one of those Tchortists was none other than Minister Percival himself, well, Assistant Minister back then. Tom was impressed by what he learned about the body of knowledge the Tchortists possess and their intentions of changing, evolving the human future. He also told me about the duality of Tchort. One side is the physical side, the being itself. The other is knowledge obtained through scientific methods. The only way possible, really. I still remember Tom's words, explanations and praises of the Institute of Tchort. The first time he told me about Tchort itself, and especially due to his fantastic way with words, it floored me. Magnificent Tchort, I was astonished. Of course, all that sparked my imagination, and I decided I had to come to South UnderRail. So I did. I still remember seeing the Rastafors at the entrance, all glorious in their beautiful robes. Sure, it was unusual, but once you understood the purpose of such appearance, it all made sense. Perfect sense. You know what happened next, brother? I became a proud Tchortist, and still am, to this day. Tchort is evolution. Thomas seemed very impressed with Tchortism. Where is he now? Did he also join the Institute? Jarret Franz's face turned sour. Tom was unfortunately mortally wounded soon after we spoke. Free drones bombing attack. Many were killed by those corrupted, inbred, dystrophic... He sighs. Had he lived a bit longer, I'm sure he would have joined me here. I'm positive. Alright, I have to leave now. Goodbye. Tchort guide you. Alright, well, if all the conversations go like that, it won't be so bad. Lazy Lyle. Alright, we'll talk to you in a moment. They said, alright, cool. I have Tchort. This medallion is generally worn by military personnel of Institute of Tchort. Of which I am not. At least not yet. I plan on being a, preserver. Alright, Lazy Lyle. An old bald man welcomes you with a wave and a wide smile. He wears dark glasses which perfectly conceal his eyes. In turn, his smile reveals more than it perhaps should. You notice the man to be almost completely toothless, yet those few teeth still clinging on somehow allow him to speak with surprising clarity. Unfortunately, they do nothing to save his interlocutor from receiving a spit shower every time he opens his mouth, as it happens to you right now. Tchort is evolution, brother. I am Lazy Lyle. That's what they call me. Evolution is Tchort, brother. I'm Brondon. Cool, cool. I finally got a bed, mate. Bed, mate? Yeah, this is our bed. He points to the double bed next to him. See, this is our bed, bedmate. I've been sleeping alone for 2 weeks, and now I have a bedmate. Oh, you want top or bottom? I slept top so far, but if you want, I'll go bottom. Yeah, bottom. You stay on top. I'm not really picky. Whatever you wish, bedmate. Now, want to chat? Yeah, why did you join the Institute of Tchort? Well, bedmate, let me put it this way. If there's a chance you could, how should I say, escape the life of poverty, filth, disease, and a couple of lone hounds wanting to skin you, would you take it? Of course you would. Don't take this the wrong way, but how did you manage to get accepted? Tchort seemed pretty selective, and, you know what I mean. I don't look the part. Is that what you're trying to say, bedmate? He sighs. It's true. I mean, just look at my teeth. I could scare burrowers away. But Tchort don't care about the superficial. They care for what's inside. Yes. I had that interview with the smoking praepostor Amelia. Told her about myself. Answered questions. Done tests. Gave blood and all that. I must have said something right, because they just accepted me. So what do you do here at the moment? I'm a novitiate still. I have some combat experience, so I might go up to the preservation route. Go to the preservation route. I've attended some lectures and, I don't know, I've still got some thinking to do. We will see. We will see. So, how are you liking the Institute of Tchort after spending some time here? I'm loving this place more and more with every passing day. Once you get used to a few things, everything being clean is one of those. And as you learn more about Tchortism, you start realizing how apex it all really is. I have no doubt that Tchortists are really trying to direct the evolution of mankind towards something greater. Look at recombinants, for example, yeah. That's the next step. All in all, I want to be a part of that. I'm happy to be a part of that. Tchort is truly something great. Tchort is evolution, bedmate. Why are you called Lazy Lyle? Are you really that lazy? No, I'm not lazy. My left eye is. As soon as he finishes the sentence, he removes his shades with an elegant, overemphasized motion, closing his eyes as if he wants to prolong the moment of revelation as much as possible. Then, he slowly opens his right normal eye, pauses, then opens his left one, the bad one. You look at it. It doesn't look at you, but is slammed so far to the left like it wants to escape the socket and see what lies behind the head. Lazy Lyle laughs in his usual toothless fashion, this time spiced up with the laziest eye you have ever seen, creating a unique image you're unlikely to ever forget. He puts the shades back on. And that is why they call me Lazy Lyle, bedmate. Can you not call me bedmate? Why not? I see that you've already grown fond of it, but I prefer if you stick to brother. Brother. It is bedrer, brother. How do you lose your teeth? Or most of them, at least. Some miserable bandit knocked my teeth out and robbed me as I was going toward the Institute. In hindsight, I should have taken the train, but my inner cheapskate ended up leading me into a very nasty situation. Darn it, Upper UnderRail sucks harder than a pack of ciphers. I don't know how anyone could live here. Other than Tchortists, of course. Alright, well, Tchort guide you, Lazy Lyle. Tchort guide you, bedmate. Alright, so he's who we're sleeping with. Fantastic. Alright, let's continue exploring. Not a lot on the eastern side. Don't want to go upstairs yet. So I think that's where the library's at. Theodore. The man behind the counter strikes you as being calm, friendly, and radiates a positive attitude. Appearance-wise, young and handsome are the words that describe him most accurate, while his confident posture is also difficult to ignore. He greets you with a familiar Tchortist salute. Tchortist evolution, brother. My name is Theodore, often called Theo by almost everyone. He smiles. How may I help you? Evolution is Tchort, brother. I'm Brondon. Welcome to the Institute of Tchort, brother. Our institution is very different from those on the outside, I'm sure, but you'll get used to it. Don't worry. Show me what you got. I'm starving. Today's we have Nothing I'm really interested in. Hungry again, brother? How and why did you join the Institute of Tchort? I am Institute-born, brother. It wasn't my decision to become a Tchortist. With all the things I heard about the outside world, I'm better off. Life here is better without a doubt, and here people care about each other, care about progress, evolution, rather than just about their own hide, so to speak. Wait, you never left this building? No. Again, from what I heard in the past, I'm better off being here. Maybe I can share a few stories about the outside world. It's rough, alright, but not everything is so grim. There's much beauty outside of the Institute. Maybe some other time, brother. Now's not the time. Anything else you needed? And please, let's make it quick. Refectory is always a busy place. What can you tell me about the Faceless? Keep the Faceless out of the refectory, please. People are trying to eat here. Magnificent Tchort. Stop mentioning those vomit-inducing freaks here. We're trying to eat. That's what I was talking about. What can you tell me about the West Wing? It is dangerous. Do not go there. It is that simple, brother. But what is so dangerous about it? I'm sorry, but I can't explain it now, brother. This is neither the time nor the place for that. This is where people eat, and I've got my hands a bit busy at the moment. Just trust me. It is dangerous. There's a reason no one goes there. Now, brother, are you ordering something or not? I'd like to ask you some questions about Tchortism. I'm sorry, but I'm working at the moment, and a discussion about Tchortism would take too long. Seek Praepostor Amelia, or visit Iodines Library. Oh, and read the original report if you haven't already. Alright, I'll see you next time, Theo. Tchort guides, brother. Cool. Yeah, it makes it a lot more exciting if you imagine everyone here saying brother like Hulk Hogan. I just dig around in here? Okay, well, let's start looting. Not gonna get upset at me for stealing stuff. And steal stuff I will. Oh, you mean I actually don't need to buy any food? Okay. Oh, missed this one over here. Alright, cool. Well, let's check out what's back here. The guard motions you to hold still, then speaks to you in a firm voice. Halt, brother. You've entered a restricted area. I will have to ask you to leave. Tchort is evolution. Evolution is Tchort, brother. Now please leave this area. Tchort guide you. What is this area? Didn't you hear what I said, brother? Leave this area. I'm so sorry. I'm new here. It won't happen again. Tchort guide you. Tchort guide you. So, there's one mysterious area. What about the other side? Let us see. Biocore University emblem. This is an emblem of the Biocore University. In the days of old Biocore, students probably sewed it onto their clothes. 1 point of experience. That takes us upstairs. Okay. I get mad if I go this way? The Brassiforte guard motions you to stop. Stop, brother. The area behind us is blocked off due to earthquake damage. How much damage did the earthquake do? Well, before the earthquake struck, there was only a small room behind the door at the end of the corridor. Now the wall fell down and revealed an opening into an abandoned station. It is all ruined. Nothing of use there. We've locked the door to keep someone from going there by accident, but but it also serves as an obstacle should someone try to come to us. Do you really think that a locked door will prevent something from getting in? By the Tchort, no. Or by the Tchort, no. But slow down enough for us to summon reinforcements. Yes. In any case, we're ready and alert. Also, we're in a lot better position here, I believe, than our Rastafort colleagues guarding the West Wing entrance. He laughs. I shouldn't be laughing. I'll see you later, brother. Tchort guide you. Tchort guide you. So yeah, I mentioned earlier on when I learned more about Tchort and the Faceless that they both seek evolution but through different means. Obviously the Faceless look like they're use science and like mechanical or robotic enhancements to like cybernetic augmentation to evolve, where the Tchortists are more natural evolution, biological evolution. Is that okay if I go in this way? Nope, went too far. Alright. Well, nothing for me there yet. We'll just exit. We can't go that way. Got upset. Let's go up these stairs. Alright, this is an area I haven't seen before. Go west. So this must be Iodines Library. Alright, this takes us down to the main floor. Let's check out all these vases. A lot of guards inside the Institute itself. I feel like that would make the residents, I don't know, maybe uneasy or very safe feeling, considering the world that they live in. Alright, Iodines Library. Let's get, oh, did I check this one? What was that? A shiv. That's a good place for it. Alright, so Curator Nena. It's a ridiculous name. I can't talk to the minister. Reading. Can't talk. Nope, can't talk to the minister. Curator Nena. The woman, upon noticing you approach, puts her hand on her chest and salutes you. Her voice is quiet, almost a whisper, yet it sounds perfectly clear and understandable thanks to the almost unreal silence within the library. Tchort is evolution. Welcome to Iodines Library, brother. I'm Curator Nena. Can I help you with anything? What can you tell me about Iodines Library? Iodines Library is the major repository of information for the Institute of Tchort. The library's database offers over 6 million pages of textual content ranging from both contemporary and historical works in different scientific fields, as well as of preserved works of literary arts, journals, documents, and other. Most of it is in digital form, accessible to all members at any time, but there's also a significant physical number of copies which, due to their rarity as well as the fragility of the medium, require special permissions. It goes without saying that Iodines Library contains the single most important, most monumental document in the history of Tchortism, the original report, written by none other than Iodine himself. Being a novitiate, you're advised to start with the original report before moving on to more current Tchort-related works. What exactly is the original report? The original report was written 100 years ago, when Iodine first discovered Tchort in the dark depths of the deep caverns. This short text describes the event itself, Iodine's original discoveries and thoughts. Essentially, it narrates the genesis of Tchortism. If you haven't read it still, brother, do so as soon as possible. I, and I'm completely honest here, have read it an uncountable number of times, and I'm most certainly not the only one to have done so. Can you tell me something about the library's history? I can give you some brief information, yes. This room we are currently in was a library from the very day the building was constructed. While it was much smaller, I should say humbler in regards to available information, it was nonetheless just as integral to the Institute of Tchort as it is today, embracing all those who seek knowledge with wide open arms. Sadly, the Great Earthquake turned it, as well as the whole West Wing, into rubble back in year 24. Most physical copies the library contained were destroyed, with only a few salvaged copies retrieved from the rubble. What a waste. Of course, Iodine knew the library had to be restored to its previous glory, so according to his will, the library was rebuilt within a relatively short period of time. Institute members named the library in his honor, and it remains so until this day. I hope that is the answer you sought. Was there anything else you wish to ask me? Nope, short guide you, Nina. And you too, brother. Read well. Alright, library terminal. Welcome to Iodines Library, brother. Today's quote, "Magnificent Tchort guides us to a better tomorrow. Iodine." The original report. The original report by Aidan Travers. I was the only one still alive from the expedition. As I found myself before this gigantic metal gate which stood closed and seemingly impenetrable, I began to ponder the most recent events, sure that these moments were to be my last, not documents. Okay. For the whole expedition was doomed from the start. It had been many years since Hollow Earth was left to rust in the forbidding bowels of deep caverns. Biocore had only begun to recuperate from the damages suffered during the split when technocrats called me into their office. They explained to me that they wished to unearth, pardon the expression, several abandoned but not forgotten projects from Hollow Earth, and salvage that which can be salvaged from the once impressive research complex. Biocore desired this expedition in hopes of at least slowing down its decline, which started years ago and wasn't about to stop. Internal struggles only worsened the situation. Of course, due to the severity of the task, it could not be entrusted to just about anyone. A senior scientist of my qualifications and experience was to lead the expedition, since only someone like that could be allowed to lay eyes on some of the most sensitive information Biocore ever possessed. I accepted. I was truly excited to be going into deep caverns. Despite being familiar with how hostile the environment was, I cared very little for that fact. On the contrary, I viewed it as a new opportunity, a new high point in my career, and entrusted our survival into the hands of Captain Sagan's men without overthinking it. Few of my scientist colleagues were also to follow me on this mission, and once all parties were ready, we made our descent. Into death, at least for most of us. Environment had changed significantly between the Hollow Earth incident and the moment of our arrival, even more than we expected. Environmental hazards, natural predators in form of horrid and surprisingly alien creatures, as well as other unexplained phenomena were quick to decimate us. Bullets can stop beasts, but for how long? Hazard suits can save us from toxic fumes and corrosive liquids, but for how long? Reaching the main complex soon proved to be mission impossible. The immediate way to the east was blocked by an impenetrable cave-in, so we had to circumvent it by going to the north. After taking the first few steps toward our goal, we already found ourselves under siege by death itself, and it sated its hunger quickly, luckily before it got to me. I was the only one still alive from my expedition. We fled north and found refuge by one of the large gates. Rust, mold, and demise were in the oxygen-devoid air, as well as some strange pulsating sensation which violently pressed onto my skull. Poor Captain, the only one still with me, was lying in a corner and was slowly fading away, with last bits of life leaving his mangled body, surrendering it to decay. He performed his duty to his very last breath. I was ready for the same fate, but then the large gates opened. Light illuminated the area, and strange pain from my head was instantly gone. While the lights weren't as bright as the ones in university, it was much better than the dwindling glow of my last flare. I stepped through the gate and faced something I wasn't prepared for. I faced it. It was giant. It was alien. It was formless. A strange creature was before me. I had no clue of its origin or intentions, or really anything. All I could see is pure flesh with tentacles sprouting from it in all their glory. The sensation in my head returned, but this time it wasn't trying to kick down the door to my mind. Instead, it gently knocked. I answered politely. Tchort was the only thing I could interpret during this peculiar exchange of thoughts. Everything else can simply be described as just some strange feeling in my head. During my 3-week stay, I was allowed by Tchort to study it. Leftover equipment I was able to find in these old labs, I combined with some of my own utilities, was able to set up an improvised laboratory, which was most excellent. Regarding nourishment, I still had my own personal supplies, up to a point in time. Afterwards, I had to rely on natural sources. This is what I had learned during my stay before I finally left Tchort and returned back certain that what I had found was an extraordinary discovery of unimaginable importance. Tchort can be defined as a large, multicellular organism of unknown age, but judging by its genetic makeup, it is primordial. While it shares a lot of common sequences with every living being, ranging from the first single-cell organisms up to modern mammals, it is not directly related to us in any way. We do not have a clear common ancestor. How is that possible? Well, that I am about to explain. The creature can enter a state of unique type of regeneration cycles, in which it loses any recognizable form and undergoes genetic self-repair. It puzzled me how and why it does so, but I had answers faster than I thought I would. Tchort has a remarkably similar cell and DNA structure to us. The number of chromosomes and genes is indeed different, but a lot of recognizable sequences can be found there. The part of its genome that was non-coding was larger than in humans, and by studying it, I have learned the answer to those two questions I asked myself previously. Whenever the creature begins suffering from any form of mutations, chromosomal deterioration, or even cancer, it can enter the aforementioned state of regeneration. It might do so in case when the environment changes drastically, and new traits are necessary to survive. I was even able to pinpoint the gene responsible for this. Now, what happens when the creature begins regenerating is this. Its non-coding part of the genome, which can be in Tchort's case considered something of a genetic backup, begins coding for proteins, which in turn change and rebuild the whole chromosome, even up to the telomeres. How it knows what sort of adaptation it needs to survive in the new environment is not yet clear, nor how it is able to recombine or even create these new sequences. But even this was a magnificent find, and it raised other questions. Can this be applied to humans or other living creatures as well? Due to the similarity of the DNA structure, the answer might as well be yes. And with that, many other questions spring to my mind. Could we too use what we learned from Tchort and adapt ourselves at will? Could we live infinitely? Would we be able to control our own evolution and strive toward a goal unimaginable before? Could we finally return to the surface world? I wanted answers, and for that I was going to need time and support. As I given Tchort the final look before I left, hoping that it wasn't going to be really the last one, it became clear in my mind what I must do. My return to university as a lone survivor turned out to be quite interesting. It can be best described as an end to one thing and the beginning of another. Of the other. End of the original report. Important dates. Year 1, Iodine discovers Tchort, formation of Institute of Tchort. Year 5, Biocore Armed Forces renamed to Preservation, Education, and Science merged into Investigation. Year 8, Great East Wing Fire. Year 9, Principal Investigator, Monsignor Giacomo. Institute of Tchort's first Monsignor dies from a sudden cardiac arrest. Year 21, Principal Investigator Evdoc attempts a coup. Rastifor Monsignor Torrent dies protecting Iodine. Year 24, the Great Earthquake demolishes the Institute Library, as well as a large part of the West Wing and Main Hall. Damage is repaired within the same year. Year 39, Principal Investigator Monsignor Anthea becomes Episcopos. Investigation prosperity period starts. Year 42, a series of major conflicts with the Faceless, culminating with the Battle of Nucleus, won by Harmos, Monsignor, Marcio or Marshall's Preservation Forces. Last major conflict with the Faceless. Year 58, prosperity period for investigation ends with death of Episcopos Monsignor Anthea. Year 67, the great mourning over the loss of West Wing Expedition, which perished due to unknown causes. Investigator Monsignor Peter dies. Year 69, Investigator Monsignor Christopher dies from cancer. Year 70, Investigator Monsignor Minty's death. Year 77, formation of Propagation Division from Education Department of Investigation and several other smaller departments. Year 78, Harmost Monsignor Marshall dies of old age. Year 81, Investigator Monsignor Lenora dies 2 days after publishing her 78th paper. Year 85, Biocore's final dissolution in Institute Courtyard riots. Year 90, Monsignor Braddock, Institute's historian, dies. Year 92, medication export for Core City starts. Year 96, success of investigator Monsignor Gustav's recombinant project revealed at the annual investigations symposium. First recombinant in action. Year 98, investigator Monsignor Gustav choked to death. Year 99, Neural pacification project revealed at the annual investigation symposium. Okay. We learned a little bit about it. I think I'm going to call the episode here. In the next one, I'm going to continue exploring the center area before we go to the west and the east like that. Yeah, let's go ahead and just head over there so I don't forget. So we go this way first. Explore what's over there in the next episode. Keep talking and reading. Luckily, these guys don't have a lot to say, so that's it's a huge relief. The conversations are going by pretty quickly, and I'm burning through a lot more of it than I was anticipating. So maybe another... I still think it's going to be 2 episodes of reading. So buckle up. Anyway, I'm going to call it here. Next episode, we'll continue exploring the Institute. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode.